Welcome to the Tri-Valley Opportunity Council Collaboration Training. My name is Chris Young. I am the Assistant Director of Migrant Education Services at Tri-Valley Opportunity Council, and I will be your host today. Thank you for joining us. The purpose of the Migrant Education Program is to address unique educational needs of migratory children, assist in overcoming educational disruption, ensuring students receive full and appropriate opportunities to meet the same challenging content standards, and not to penalize the students for the different disparities among the state's educational systems. Our migrant students travel from state to state and school to school, and there are so many differences in each educational system. So we need to be the link. We need to help them and make sure that they are getting what they need to be successful. The Minnesota Department of Education and North Dakota DPI, Department of Public Instruction, partner with Tri-Valley Opportunity Council Migrant Education Services Department to identify and recruit migrant children ages 0 to 21 who have not received a high school diploma or equivalent. We also determine eligibility for the Title I-C Migrant Education Program and conduct re-interviews. For Minnesota only, we also collect all minimum data elements for migrant student records. We manage the state migrant education database, and we are administrators of the National Migrant Education Database, MSHS, for Minnesota. Tri-Valley Opportunity Council offers health services for students enrolled in Migrant Seasonal Head Start that are ages 0 to 5. If you are a summer migrant education program and would like to contract with Tri-Valley for health services, please contact Cindy Boudreau. Summer migrant education programs have the option to go through Tri-Valley to operate their summer food service program. If you are interested, please contact Jamie Rokala, formerly Jamie Lee, the Child Nutrition Services Manager. If you know of a migratory family that has food insecurities or is in need of other resources, go to TVOC.org, Services, Migrant Education Program. Scroll down the page to Requests, click on Resource Request, fill the request out, and submit it. We do not guarantee that we can provide any resources, however, we will do our best to try to help. So why is it important for you as Tri-Valley Opportunity Council Head Start staff to know this information about Title I? Many of our families are the same. By working together, we can connect students to school. We can help remove barriers for students. We can help families in general. We can also help each other, and both programs will be more likely to thrive if we work together. Both programs need to know enough about the other to be able to advertise it and answer questions families may have, or at least know who the family can go to for the answer. Together, we can be stronger. If you are an RFA and come across a child that is not registered for this year in Child Plus, and the family has moved within the past 36 months, and the child is between the ages of 0 and 21, or is an OSY, please fill out a recruitment request. Once the recruitment request is submitted, Claudia Melodic will contact the Certified Migrant Liaison or the regional recruiter that is in that area, and that person will then follow up with the family to determine if they are eligible. To fill out a recruitment request, go to TVOC.org, Services, Migrant Education Program. Scroll down to Requests, click on Recruitment Request, fill out the form and submit it. After you submit it, a regional recruiter will contact you. When talking to people about the Title I Migrant Education Program, it is important to let them know that we would like to help them remove barriers for students by offering summer school programs, advocacy, assistance with registration at school, providing Texas state assessments and administering them or tutoring for them, providing educational resources, helping with credit accrual, credit recovery, and/or credit acceleration, and ensuring that they receive free meals. We cannot promise that any of these services will be provided, however, we will do our best to offer them. One of our top priorities is to identify and recruit all eligible migratory children ages 0 to 21. In order to determine eligibility for the Title I Migrant Education Program, you must be certified annually. Our certified staff consists of regional and seasonal recruiters. We also contract with some school districts to certify migrant liaisons. For more information about becoming certified or identification and recruitment, contact Claudia Melodic. This year, the RFAs will not be certified to determine eligibility for the Title I-C Migrant Education Program, but you are still encouraged to advertise and advocate for Title I in order to help recruit families. The Title I-C recruitment team will reciprocate the efforts by doing the same for the Tri-Valley Opportunity Council Head Start programs. We hope we can work together to find and serve as many families as possible. Again, we will be serving many of the same families, and it is important for us to know enough about each other's programs to be able to explain them to the families and to answer their questions, or at least know who to refer them to or to go to for the answer. If one of the Title I-C recruiters comes across a family that's not qualified for Title I, but may be qualified for the Migrant Seasonal Head Start program, that recruiter will then contact the center manager and let them know about the family, as long as it's okay with the family. Another one of our priorities is managing data systems and student records for all migratory students in the state of Minnesota. Linda Fournier is our Migrant Education Services Data System Specialist. Guadalupe Ruiz and Kathy Skluzacek are the Migrant Education Services Data Coordinators. If you have questions about M6, MIS 2000, or need technical support, contact Linda. You may also go to Linda if parents have questions about their student records, transferring records, or have credit accrual issues. Guadalupe and Kathy will be doing COE follow-ups and can be contacted if the COE is needed once it's approved. Like I said previously, we collect all of the minimum data elements for all migrant student records in the state of Minnesota. Some of those elements include enrollment dates and withdrawal dates, residency verification dates, grades and transcripts for each term, and information on EL status, IEPs, immunizations, assessments. All of that information is collected for each migrant student in the state of Minnesota. We collect it and then we input it into MIS 2000, and then from there it gets uploaded into M6, into the National Migrant Student Information Exchange. It is we have that in place in order to help our migrant students and remove the barriers that may prevent them from getting the education that they need and being successful. For the state of Minnesota, we manage the Migrant Education Database, which is MIS 2000. We manage all of the users in MIS 2000. We provide training and troubleshooting for all certified staff throughout the state of Minnesota. We develop and maintain reports, manuals, COEs, guides, and whatever else is needed. We manage the maintenance and updates. We work with MSHS to make sure everything is up to date and ready to be used. We are the link between all systems that talk to MIS 2000, so we work with Minute at MDE, we work with the MARS people, and anyone else that we need to work with to make sure that everything is up to date and ready to be used. We manage all the data that goes in and out, including doing the reports for the CSPR and making sure that we're providing data for people that need it in order to make data-driven decisions. And we just try to be as helpful as we can. We are the administrators of the National Migrant Education Database for Minnesota, and that database is called M6, the Migrant Student Information Exchange. And what we do is manage the users, manage move notices, the duplicate students, data requests, etc. We ensure that all 73 minimum data elements are collected for each migrant student in the state of Minnesota. We provide training and troubleshooting for TVOC staff and district staff throughout Minnesota. We follow and implement all federal and state guidelines, and we reconcile missed enrollments, child count reconciliation, and other reports. Tri-Valley Opportunity Council Migrant Education Services Department conducts the quality control measures for Minnesota and North Dakota. We have regional recruiters that conduct and complete 50 re-interviews each year for each state. They independently interview families and check each criterion that makes children eligible for the migrant education program. And we do this each year just to make sure that our eligibility determinations are accurate and we're counting an accurate number of children. And it's also designed to provide us early warning signs and help us identify and fix problems that need to be fixed. In addition, we get feedback from the families if their children had attended programs in each state, North Dakota or Minnesota, migrant education programs, and then we let centers or sites know about the feedback that we get from the families. If you are not certified to determine eligibility for the Title I Part C Migrant Education Program, it is still good for you to know what some of the indicators are that a child may be migrant, and then be able to refer them to the Title I program. So some of the indicators include if a parent or guardian has worked in agricultural work, work that is seasonal, so like picking rock or working with corn, packing peas, or temporary work like milking cows, processing eggs, that type of thing. Due to economic necessity. The child or youth, and remember they can be aged 0 through 21, has moved across district lines within 3 years and has not graduated. And they don't have to move with the parent or guardian. They could come before the parent, they could come after. The child or youth could actually be the agricultural worker, him or herself, as well. And also the parent or guardian, or if it's the child, him or herself, they have to have moved within 3 years, so 36 months for the Title I C MEP program. If you come across a child that may be eligible for the Title I C Migrant Education Program and is not eligible for the Migrant Seasonal Head Start program, we would like you to coordinate with Tri-Valley Opportunity Council Migrant Education Services to ensure proper identification, placement, and reporting of migratory children for Title I Part C, education of migratory children. So what does that mean? How do I coordinate with Migrant Education Services is a question that you may be asking. So what we're asking you to do, and again, this is only if the child does not qualify for Migrant Seasonal Head Start services, because if they qualify for the MSHS program, we will already have their information. If they do not qualify but are possibly migrant and would qualify for the Title I Part C migrant education program, then we would want you to let the parent know that someone will be contacting them because that they may qualify for the Title I C program, and we ask that you give a short commercial about our program and answer any questions that they may have or refer them to the proper person to get their questions answered. We then ask that you fill out a recruitment request form, and then a certified recruiter will interview the family to determine if the child is eligible. It helps the recruiter to be able to interview the family in a school or at the center if they are uncomfortable being interviewed at home. So if that's something that you would allow, that would be wonderful. So when should you fill out a recruitment request? If the child or children do not qualify for Migrant Seasonal Head Start, but they or their parent may qualify for Title I Part C, then yes, go ahead and fill out a recruitment request. So maybe the children do qualify for Migrant Seasonal Head Start, and you notice that their parent is under 21 and has not graduated. Maybe their parent would qualify. So you're going to want to fill out a recruitment request in that situation. If the family is not in the Child Plus enrollment, but there are indicators that the child may be migrant, then we ask you to fill out a recruitment request. If the child qualifies for Migrant Seasonal Head Start and has been enrolled in Child Plus, we do not need that information. We already have access to it, so you do not need to fill out a recruitment request. Only if the child or the parent are not already in the Child Plus system. Again, our charge from the federal government is to identify and recruit all migrant children in the state of Minnesota that are ages 0 to 21. So it is really important that we find every qualified, eligible migrant child or youth in the state and identify them and make sure that they get into our count. It's important for them to be able to receive the services that they may need, and it's important for us to maintain the program and receive the funding. Thank you for your help in this quest. All right, everybody, now we get to learn some fun facts about the Minnesota Migrant Education Program. Hopefully these facts will help you to know more about the program and to be able to help families as much as possible.
Typically in Minnesota, we identify over 1,400 migratory students each year. About 40% of those students are considered homeless, and a small number of migratory students move within Minnesota from district to district. The majority of our migratory students come from Texas. There are around 150 Minnesota schools that have at least one migratory student enrolled. For more information about the migratory lifestyle, take a look at the links provided on this page.
Some of the top qualifying activities in Minnesota include working with peas, so packing, cleaning, hauling peas, corn, detasseling corn, sorting corn, picking rock for field preparation, grading, sorting, packing, and fieldwork with potatoes, harvesting sugar beets. Other frequent qualifying activities include packing soybeans, milking cows, caring for chickens, and packing radishes. Now, we do have a list that's posted on our webpage with multiple qualifying activities. If you don't find a qualifying activity on that list, it does not mean that it's not a qualifying activity. There are many qualifying activities out there that we do not have on the list. So if it's not on the list and it's a qualifying and it's an activity that a family has done, please let us know and we can determine if it is a qualifying activity or not, because it very well may be.
The Minnesota Department of Education will provide funding to 7 districts in order for them to host summer migrant education programs. The districts include Belgrade-Bruton-El Rosa, Bold, Glencoe Silver Lake, Monticello, Sleepy Eye, Owatonna, and Plainview, Elgin, Millville. District 287 may also be available for students that would like to earn credits.
So just once again, going over some of the indicators of qualifying for the Title I Migrant Education Program. A qualifying move for the worker and child in the past 36 months must include the change of residency due to economic necessity and be from one district to another. The migratory agricultural workers or migratory fishers are those workers who engage in temporary or seasonal jobs soon after a qualifying move. And a child's qualifying move should be with, to join, or precede a migratory agricultural worker or migratory fisher or on his or her own as the migratory agricultural worker or migratory fisher. So if at any time a migratory agricultural worker engaged in temporary or seasonal jobs within the past 36 months, they could very well be qualified for the migrant education program. That is a very good indicator that they may be migrant. So if they have engaged in temporary or seasonal jobs or qualifying work within 36 months, please refer them to us. And if they are not already in the Migrant Seasonal Head Start program, and we will determine if they're eligible or not. The Minnesota Department of Education has a spot where there is a list of all migrant liaisons for each school district in the state of Minnesota. Now, every school district has not added a person, but that list is becoming more and more full every day. So we're grateful for that. We encourage school districts to add someone that is their migrant liaison that can help advocate for students. That person will also be the point of contact for us when we, Tri-Valley Opportunity Council Migrant Education Services, need to contact the school district about student records or transcripts or enrollment withdrawal dates. That will be the go-to person for us. As Migrant Seasonal Head Starts, if you have families that are asking questions or if you need to contact a school district, the Migrant Liaison list is there for you as well to utilize if needed. And this is just kind of a little disclaimer maybe. When parents sign off on the Certificate of Eligibility, the COE, they authorize the school district, the Minnesota Migrant Education Program, Hamlin, Merck, and Tri-Valley Opportunity Council to release and transfer any of their child's education or health records to or from other schools and educational agencies. So when a parent is signing the COE, they do authorize that for us to be able to do those things. And now with COVID-19, we are not requiring the recruiters to get a parent's signature. Verbal authorization can be obtained, and then they would just mark that on the COE and submit it from there. All right, so here's another what if. What if a parent asks you where he or she could get educational records for his school-age children? Maybe he or she cannot remember which school that they attended or that they were at last, and they have not registered yet for this school year. What do you tell them?
Contact Linda Fournier for educational records.
Okay, now what if a family comes in to register for Migrant Seasonal Head Start and the 3 and 4-year-old do not qualify for Migrant Seasonal Head Start, but the mom is 20 years old and has not graduated. She worked picking strawberries in California and moved to Minnesota 2.5 years ago to find more affordable housing and work. There is not a Title I Part C summer program in the area. what do you do? So if the family does not qualify for the Migrant Seasonal Head Start program, or the kids do not qualify, we would not be getting their information in Child Plus. So we would need to get a referral from you. So you would need to fill out a recruitment request, and then a recruiter can contact the family and determine eligibility. So we would definitely want you to talk to the family and let them know that that was what you were going to do, and make sure that it's okay with them, because they may be qualified for the Title I-C summer program. The mom may be qualified, and the kids. Remember, we go back 3 years, so if they've engaged in qualifying work within 3 years and meet the other criteria, they could be qualified. Again, you do not have to determine that. The recruiter, the Title I certified recruiter, will determine that. But if you could just fill out the recruitment request and make sure that that's okay with the family, we will go ahead then and interview the family and determine if they are eligible. And it does not matter if there's a Title I-C summer program in the area or not. We still want to make sure we are identifying every single student that is eligible for the migrant education program. There is a federal law that requires the Department of Education to ensure the linkage of migrant student record systems for the purpose of electronically exchanging among the states health and educational information regarding all migratory students. So the Education Department decided to, or developed the Migrant Student Information Exchange, which is the national database that houses all migrant student educational records. The Minnesota Department of Education partners with Tri-Valley Opportunity Council Migrant Education Services to collect and enter all of the 73 minimum data elements for each migrant student that's in the state of Minnesota. So we work closely with school districts. We also work closely with other systems that help us to get that information, for instance, MCAs and state assessments. We work with MDE to make sure that those are uploaded into MIS 2000, which then gets uploaded into M6. And if you have any questions, or if there are counselors or other school staff that would like access to M6, Linda Fournier can help you through that process. There's a short application that you need to fill out and a few other requirements. They are available online on our webpage, but you could also contact her and she could walk you through the process. She also does the training for M6.
If you know of a secondary migratory student or parent that would like some assistance, contact Liddy Guzman, the Secondary Program Coordinator located at Hamline University. Her phone number is 651-645-9005. Migrant Seasonal Head Start Centers, summer migrant education programs, and teachers with at least one migrant student in a classroom can order from the Midwest Migrant Educational Resource Center. MERC is an amazing center that has a ton of resources for all age levels. Contact Rhonda for assistance or to order MERC materials. Did you know that when you use MERC materials with migratory students, Minnesota can count that as a support service? Be sure to use MERC materials with all of your migratory students. This will not only help teachers and students, but will also help Minnesota maintain their migratory education program. Each year, center managers, MEP coordinators, and their teams should meet to discuss information that's on the partnership agreement. Partnership agreements are available on the Migrant Education Services webpage through Tri-Valley Opportunity Council. Be sure to include health staff, center staff, regional recruiters, and anyone else that you are collaborating with. A copy of the form should be signed and scanned to Chris Young and CC Noemi Trevino within 1 week after the meeting has occurred. Contact us on our Minnesota Migrant Education Hotline, 1-800-890-4853. If you have any questions or need support, please contact us and we will be happy to help. Thank you for taking the time to learn about the Minnesota Migrant Education Program and Tri-Valley Opportunity Council Migrant Education Services.